and welcome y'all to Dean Recaps, baby, for the boys, episode 2. Listen here, we have two very special guests in the building. Now, the first one, I know I said, early on that, he looks like he's going to be nice and he's going to be, but he's going to be a savage. I'm fucking right. It's goddamn Jamal, played by the absolutely wonderful Andrew Coleman. I got some beef with your character, but then I don't anymore, but then I kind of do. I don't know. But we got to cue these applause.
Thank you. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I love your character. And then I'm just like, but he's a sneaky bastard. And it's like, ooh, I know you are. I feel it because he's coming off innocent, but there's certain things he's doing. I'm just like, I don't know. But then I absolutely, episode 2, I don't got problems with you. It's Devin. We'll talk about Devin in a second. Devin, we're gonna have to shoot hands. Him and Amber, I'm gonna need him and Amber, we're gonna have to have some conversations. So Amber from episode 1, y'all. Now, Ellis, one half, the other creator of For the Boys. Thank you for joining us on the show today. I appreciate you, man. Ellis C. Dawson the third, actually.
Yeah.
And for all y'all who don't know, I'm a little frazzled right now because we were doing an introduction earlier, and then the shit just kind of went to shit with the recordings. But we're back here, people. We're back here. Woosah. And to do that, I got to pay some bills. Now, listen here, folks. Listen here. I'm just trying to help you, and I'm just trying to help your pockets because we all know April 15th is around the corner, and the tax man needs his money, and I have the perfect individuals that will be able to help you out, and that is going to be at JG&A Tax Services. This is going to be a minority-owned business, and it doesn't get any better than this. We understand within our communities that finances has not always been a positive thing. What I mean by that is a lot of us are financially illiterate, and that makes you ashamed, that makes you embarrassed. JG&A Tax Services is the perfect place for you to go for that. These are people who look like you, are going to understand what the hell you're talking about. You don't have to worry about you leaving the office, people laughing, making fun of you. No, everything they do is going to be in your best interest. And you can give them a call because they're located in Long Island and they do everything via a Zoom, via encrypted emails. They will be able to handle all of your tax preparations. And you call them at 631-542-2344. Once again, that is 631-542-2344. Use that at the Berry Gang 1 code, people. Now, when y'all go ahead and y'all get that good refund, I want you to do yourself. You do me a little favor.
I'm jealous.
All my stoners, I need you to go ahead and you go to Stoner Life Clothing 42710. You want a Jack Harris shirt? We got you. You need a Munchie Man shirt? We got you. You need a custom shirt? We got you. Stickers, pins, pendants. Baby, they got it all over there. You go holler at them at Stoner Life Clothing 42710. You make sure you tell them that Los and Dean sent you. Use that at the Berry Gang 1 code. They gonna treat you like family because they are family, baby. Literally, it's my cousin shit. If you got a problem, call me. I got you. I'm trying to look out for y'all. But we got one more thing. We just got one more thing to end this bad boy off right. Now, y'all know Dean. Prior to the pandemic, Dean was getting a little fluffy. You know what I'm saying? Justin went over there. He poked me. He was calling me a little fluffy. I had to, you right. I said, you're right. I'm going to get my shit together. I used to be a beast. So who did I call? Who did I contact? There's only one person to contact. His name is Big Laz. And I know some of you listening like, who the fuck is Big Laz? I'm going to tell you who Big Laz is, baby. Europe's strongest man, Britain's strongest man. He's won the World Ultimate Strongman 2016. He's been to the World Strongest Man competition 11 times, and he has decided to impart his wisdom on you mere mortals. Listen, if you want to get in the strongman, he's got you. If you want to get in the bodybuilding, he can write a program for that. If you just want to get into maybe fitness modeling, he can do that. But let's just say you don't want to do all that. You say, I don't want to fuck all that shit, Dean. I just want to get right. Fucking call him too. My job causes, listen, I have to lift heavy things and heavy objects, heavy people. I have to do a multitude of things. I have to be ready at the drop of a dime. So I had contacted Big Laz. I said, Laz, this is what my life looks like. Can you keep me safe? He goes, I can do it all day, bruv. So y'all go ahead and you go holler at him. Big Laz, WSM. Use that at the Berry Gang 1 code, baby. And with that, the bills are paid. And it is now time. Oh, thank y'all once again for coming on here. I appreciate y'all for putting up with madness. And I just have a question, speaking of madness. What's going on with Devin, Drew? What's going on and then for the people who don't know, we're gonna have to take it scene by scene, baby.
Yeah.
So we start off and everything was going well. You know what I'm saying? You were cooking. Yo, matter of fact, what were you doing for the people? Drew, excuse me, or should I say Jamal for this moment? I don't even know.
No, I was, there was a lovely night of passion followed by just, me cooking some breakfast, for Devin.
And
You
this
know?
fucking scumbag, after I'm gonna say it because you want to know why. This is what got me pissed. I got hot in this house.
Okay.
When I say I went through the roof. I'm sitting here and I'm watching this man because let's play the scene out for the people. So what happens is Jamal gets up, he's feeling good, dancing, you hear the music, he start cooking a little bit. Devin walk in looking all sexy, ain't got no shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jamal talking, causing Jamal to burn a little bit of the food, but that's all okay. They have a conversation which basically ends in Jamal trying to go out and really be like, let's have an actual date like a couple. And Devin put the brakes on it. After he was trying to meet Syed. What the fuck is this? What's going on? Ellis.
Come on. What's going on, Ellis? Because Ellis wrote it. So
yeah, right? Like, what's going on? I'm confused. What's going on, baby?
It's one of those things where there are unspoken rules, I feel like, in hookup culture, and when Jamal has made it clear that there are certain boundaries that can't be crossed, then Devin follows suit and is like, okay, cool. So when so the night happens and then the breakfast is made and then it feels too much like a relationship and it might make Devin feel a little bit uncomfortable for reasons that we will explore later. But Jamal is a hopeless romantic and in his head, those first couple of seconds when you see him waking up and you see, even though it's in silence, Drew acts it beautifully. You see him playing in his head like, oh my God, I've always wanted this perfect moment of, after this beautiful night, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna cook breakfast for this man, we're gonna have this beautiful day together. And it just kind of throws Devin for a little bit of a loop. He was expecting, it's like, oh, if we're sneaking around at soon as the ass crack of dawn, you're gonna be kicking me out, but you're doing all of this. Okay, what's going on? So but more will unfold.
Okay.
We do feel for Jamal at this moment, definitely. And like,
yeah, but
it's jarring. It's like, wait, what's going on?
I think
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
As you were saying it, that's how angry I was when I read the script for episode 2.
Okay.
A minute, like no, but here we are.
So speaking of that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great. It is great that I have you on here, Drew. Because I definitely want to get all the cast on here just to talk about their different nuances in their acting, but yours especially, because in episode 1, all right, you did something that I don't know if it's a big deal or not, but to me, I literally looked at my partner and I was like, that's fucking acting. It was in the beginning scene when you were trying to get to the phone and you did the shuffle. That I don't know who told you to do the shuffle, but I'm with it. I was because it created the sense of, I was like, you got the little, and then it went with the whole character, because even this shot, it looked like this. I felt like you tried to make the shuffle awkward, and you did. If that's what you like, you know what I mean? Because it was just like, and I was just like, this is fucking like a perfect moment. And then we go into episode 2, and then that opening scene with you on the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then even with you cooking,
Mm-hmm.
both of you, actually everyone in this. I guess that's the wild thing to me is y'all are like wild. Like, I don't know, like people like, I'm just like, this is not going to be here for this long. Like, this isn't going to be in this. People better get it while they can get it. Because you may have to get it now. Like, you may have to get a subscription somewhere one day. You know what I mean? Like, it's on YouTube now, but I may need to go bump somebody Hulu to get it on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are wild. So what, like, can you just take me to how do you attack a scene and not overact it?
That is a good question. Besides like training and stuff, this is the closest I've a character has ever come to me before. So Jamal is awkward. I am awkward. Like if you even look at the first episode as Jamal's trying to get to the phone, why didn't he just go the other way? You know what I mean? Like, but the way that Jamal thinks is just like, no, I have to go this way. You know what I mean? It's just like it's always the hard way. It's like the common sense sometimes isn't there. And I think the way to not overact it, I think Jamal in a lot of ways, we're very different in a lot of ways. I'm an extrovert, he's an introvert, you know, but we're very similar. So I've been that guy to wake up and like, you know, want to do something nice for Shorty or something like that. And like, you know, want to rush to the phone and trips over, you know, this, that, and the third. So the awkwardness is just life experience. And I think, yeah, a lot of these scenes are just feelings that I've experienced or I've absolutely been in Jamal's position. Not with a white man, but you know.
He's also.
Oh, so you've never been with a colonizer?
I have not ever dated a colonizer.
I didn't say that.
I can't.
Been with.
Have you ever been with a colonizer?
Biblically, you know.
Yeah. Listen. You know what, Drew? I'm not gonna sit here and have you hanging out there like that. So I too have conquered the colonizers. It is what it is. It happens. It's a primal thing sometimes. You just want to just do it for the ancestors. You just want to just take some anger out. I get it. It happens. It is. Am I wrong, people? Am I wrong? I'm sorry. Am I being too real?
No.
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't talking to y'all. I'll say a lot of times I'm used to doing these things alone sometimes. So I'll talk to the audience. Yeah. So yeah, when y'all see me, whenever I say y'all, it ain't even to y'all. Like, I'll say Drew or Ellis or Drew and Ellis. Yeah, no, y'all is the people. Y'all know who I'm talking to. Y'all can't get mad at me. Y'all know y'all feel the same way. When just let you get that a little bit, you know what I mean? You just got to get a little, I just, put a little pain. Yeah, it is what it is. So, but now here's my question. Ellis, this storyline with the colonizer and Drew, what made you make him so cool, Devin?
Because
like why didn't you, like, you know what I mean, like why didn't you make the character a little more, because I guarantee, I know you probably had to have this discussion of like, do we want him a little more rigid? Like when I mean rigid, I mean like in his views, because when I'm listening to Devin, I'm like, he says all the right things. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. And it's kind of like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm like, okay, so is he gonna, okay. What made you write him like that?
Because I feel like it's the obvious choice when we're talking about interracial relationships to have the white partner be, have all these microaggressions and says the wrong thing all the time. And sure, that does happen, and we are not trying to glorify it by any means, but there are people in this world, obviously let me just start here. White people are all inherently racist. That's just what it is. So I'm going to start with that. But from that, we wanted it to be because of how strong Jamal is in his beliefs and what he stands for and how he lives his life and his life's mission and all of these things. We had to make the white person that he fought for realistic for him, because there's no way that someone who would, like, someone more so on the side of like an Amber, a male so let's say, like I don't even know a name, but like, and more so like that,
Kevin,
he wouldn't go for it. He wouldn't go for it. So this is someone who like checks off these boxes that he has. However, there's obviously more to the story. And also why Devin is so cool is because I was literally having this conversation with I think it was with Mekahi yesterday, but it came from a previous conversation that, like, in relationships, a lot of times there's one person who's like the star of the relationship, and then there's someone that's like holding the spotlight, and that can mean a lot of things. It just means that there's one person who's a little more like either like neurotic or like needs more attention, or like a little more cerebral and like overthinking, blah blah blah, and then there's one person that's like holding the light steady for this person, for them to shine, for them to figure it out. And I feel like that, like, Jamal is doing this and then Devin is like, I'm here. So it's like it's like, they kind of work out like that. But yeah, I think it would have just been the easy route to play this character where it's like, it's easy. The thing is that we want to challenge people on every level when it comes to how nuanced a white and black relationship is. And like, it would be so easy to be like, oh my God, I can't stand Devin because he said this and he did that and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So it's like, we're trying, trust me, we have a long way to go till episode 10. So of course things are gonna come up and it's gonna get uncomfortable, but we're trying to set him up in a way where you're seeing him through the way that Jamal sees him. Jamal, obviously, who is an intelligent, articulate, artistic, creative, brilliant mind, sees something in this person who is white, and on top of that, there's all of that baggage that comes along with it. So that was a long answer, but yes.
No, I like it. I'm here for it. That's what I want. That's what I want. This is and I liked how just I love how unapologetic the show is and everything. And then that'll bring us into scene 2. So scene 2, you did something dope. And I don't know if Chandler, if they do this in his own life, but like his acting in that scene and the whole, he's having this conversation with Jamal. They're having this heart to heart. Jamal's just trying to figure shit out. Chandler's like, just kind of living his life, doing his thing. What caught me the most, and I actually had to watch that scene 3 times because what caught me, and I don't know if everyone else was catching it, was especially if they're not into the complete lifestyle. I loved how Chandler just was going from different outfits and then just decided on what he decided on. You know what I mean? Like, like he went from, because Anthony, I forgot what he started out in, but I know that like a pink feminine shirt started, and he always had the do-rag on the whole time, still with the beard, and then he throws on the shirt, but then it's like he's got the infliction in his voice that he's like, depending on what he's saying, he's switching, like he's making his voice go deeper or lighter, depending on what he's wanting to convey. And then like, I remember, once again, like I'm watching with my partner, I looked at my partner, I just was like, yo, how deep is his fucking voice? like, and then my partner was like trying to be a dickhead. He was like, he's a fucking man. Of course his voice is deep. I was like, no, you dick. I'm talking about the octave. Like, how deep does he make it? And it's like, was that something else that like, is that in itself in the character of how the character is presented? Just because like, I know that the Anthony character is a character that is, the free spirit, does what he wants to do. So I just didn't know, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into this shit too deep. Or
no, I love that. This reminds me of like people having like theories for like Get Out or like, Us, but we never really thought about it like that. Whatever that is something that Chandler organically does. All of those, funny enough, all of those clothes, I believe, were Chandler's that we just were like, oh, let's try this and let's try this and let's try this. And we know we wanted him in the do-rag. Funny enough, that was Mekahi's room in real life. So like, we were like trying to like pull some of Mekhi's like more masculine clothes out and like throw some of clothes that Chandler had. But yeah, no, that was just kind of like the way it all panned out. Chandler's brilliant. They're all of these people, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and so to you, Drew, when you're acting, like, I've heard this before. I spoke about this with Ellis before, about on sets in Hollywood, how people love theater actors. And they don't necessarily like actors. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically theater actors come to set prepared, know their lines. Stars who may have not had a background in theater, them are the ones who come unprepared, things like that. So with you acting along with 2 other, classically trained, men.
Yeah.
What does that like? How does an actor step their game? Like, I guess like, cause I'm just very intrigued about the whole acting thing. And so I may be asking some questions that are very redundant,
That's okay.
But like, how do you step your game up force them to step their game up and then stay true to the like. What is this? How do you become a character? Basically, let's start there. How the fuck do you become Jamal? There we go. I'm just going to straight ask it. I'm trying to be cute and nice. Fuck it, people. I can't. How do you become Jamal? Help me.
That I think every actor, you know, depending on whatever background, like regardless, they all have different processes. I'm very, very big on backstory, on just like who this person is before you saw him and what happened right before that. That's just how I was trained. So that is what helps like ground me into a character, like, you know, knowing what they want and things like that, knowing just like how they carry themselves, like even favorite color, when is their birthday, what is their sign, like that's all stuff that I like to know, just so I can like sit in it a little bit. And I always try a little bit to bring as much as myself to the character as possible. I think a lot of people like try to transform into something else, and that doesn't really work for me. I have to, yeah, I have to put as much of Drew into the character, even if the character is like such a stretch for me. Like, there's always gonna be a little bit of like that Drew like ism, that quirk or whatever.
How do you keep yourself? So like, how do you, I guess my thing is like when I'm watching you and fucking Chandler put on a fucking clinic in that room. It's just the two of you in that room. And you got the camera, it's you two, the cameramen, and the directors, and y'all are putting on this fucking clinic. How do you not get lost in that? Like, and then what, like, is there certain, another question too, this is just ignorant questions, but like, is this something too? Like, I heard that y'all are trained not to look each other in the eyes because you can get lost in it. Is that true? Am I wrong? What the fuck is? What did I? Maybe I'm up on YouTube late at night, baby. Help me out.
That might be a like TV trick thing that I don't know about. If you stand right there, I'm gonna look you in the eye. You know what I mean? Unless the director tells me something different.
Got you.
Trying to get a certain shot or something like that. But if he's there, I'm gonna look right there. And another thing about us being able to like connect on that level, the casting was like, I think pretty impeccable. Like I remember the first time the three of us read together. I remember the first time. Do you remember the first time the three of us met, like in person, Ellis? We were in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and we were filming the promos. And I looked around and I was like,
in North Carolina?
Yes, that's when
Yes.
That's when we shot our first. Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
No. It's just no. You can totally say it. Yeah, we did a road trip to North Carolina. Me, my brother Lamont, who plays Syed, and Mekahi. We got in my car and drove. I think it's like 10 hours to Winston-Salem. We flew Drew, who was in Kentucky at the time, back to North Carolina because Chandler is in college, and that's where his school is. So we had to go down there to film everything. We just
classes also, because he would be like when he's out of class, like get him in the costume and like film really quick and like just get him out and get him back to class. We did so much in like maybe a 2 day. I think y'all got there a day before me.
Yeah. So we did all of the stuff that came out before the first episode. We did in like 16 hours in between Chandler's classes. In between classes and rehearsals, we would get in my car, pick him up, he'd get dressed, we would do it all. Yeah, all those photos, I took those photos, I think, in 12 minutes.
In the back of like an Airbnb we were staying in, like he set it up, and and that was like one of my first photo shoots ever, so I was super duper nervous, but like it just, there is a gelling and a synchronicity that has just happened with, I don't know how Ellis and Mekahi like properly cast the three of us, but I remember just being in the park and looking at them and being like, oh, this is right. This is so right. And like we had to improv because we were walking down like there's a scene, and I mean there's a part of one of our promos called Strut, and we're walking down and we're like talking to each other, and we just like started improving, and it was just so easy. There's a level of trust that was just like instantly there that has just never left. So when we all get on set, it's real easy to just like pop into something. We try to have a rehearsal like the day before if possible, but or maybe even sometimes like a couple hours before. But yeah, like it's very, besides preparation, just us looking around each other and saying like, I got you, like mentally. And then like, I don't know, it just, yeah. And then you get that conversation that seems like it's not really lines. It seems like we're just talking to each other, you know?
Yeah, it was. So, well, one, this is why I'm such like a fan of the whole series, is one, the work, but two, like just knowing the grind. Not knowing the grind, because I'm not into that, but like just knowing what you gotta fucking go through. You know what I mean? To kind of get this thing going, and then like watching this final product, which is why I'm just listen. I may be trying. Listen, maybe I'm starting some new theories out here. Y'all put in the comments below what some shit y'all think, because I really thought that infliction of the voice shit was written in. You couldn't have told me it fucking wasn't. Like I was like, yo, this shit is great. Now we get into scene 3.
Yeah.
And then after we get into scene 3, I just kind of want to talk about generally how some of these themes may have fit into both of y'all lives. Scene 3. God damn it, Ellis. You, Syed Walker. Excuse me, Lamont Walker. Jesus Christ. Lamont Walker, aka who's playing Syed. And his date, who was your first muse.
Yes, Eric. We toured.
Yep.
Eric did Aladdin with me.
Yep.
Yes, when I first started photography, he had just joined the tour. I had been on for a year, and he was my best friend on the road. We did everything. We were inseparable. So that's my boo. I love him. So
Shout out to Eric.
Yes.
Well, let me.
Who acts down?
Brilliant.
Acts down.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that for us ignorant folk? What does that mean? Acting down.
Oh, it's like singing down, like acting down, like you're just.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you sing down, like you sing all the way down.
I got you.
Yeah.
So that scene, I feel as if when that scene happened, I was immediately reminded back to the conversation that me, you, Los, and Mekahi had when Mekahi said that we're going to be exploring those moments within the gay community that you have with the person. Like you have a lifetime within a moment. You have these moments that are like life changing, but they're only for this moment. And I was like, oh, this is where we're going with it. And then where y'all went with it, I was like, oh, how many takes did that scene? How many takes was that? Because it didn't look like many. And I tried.
We did a lot because we're not on a sound stage, so there are only so many ways a camera can move, and which is funny enough that we can talk about the scene. So that scene I wrote and I directed. So it was a lot. So I blocked it and I showed our director of photography the blocking, and I was like, these are the moments, these are the shots that we need. And we could probably only do like 4 or 5 lines at a time. We would do like 4 or 5 lines, go back, do the 4 or 5 lines again, go back, do it again. We got it. Okay, let's move forward with the next 4 or 5 lines. Go back, do it again. So it was very rare that we did like long takes of anything, which is why it keeps going back and forth like that, is because of the space and how, because that's actually Lamont's room. Well, I'm in like the apartment that we shoot in, and Jamal's room is my room. Syed's room is actually Lamont's room. Their living room, because Lamont and I live together, that's this place. So I know the space intimately, but it was a lot of maneuvering. And then the last part, believe it or not, the whole mirror thing, I think just because of how heavy it was in the moment, I think we shot that from the time he walks into the mirror. I think we did that twice, and then we were like, okay, maybe 3 times. And after we had a long conversation about what we were trying to accomplish, it was like, okay, we're good. We don't need to do this again. We don't need to put you through that, because who knows? As an actor, who knows what you're thinking about in that moment when people ask you to go to dark places.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
That scene. I had issues personally with a few things. So the biggest thing, and I'll just talk about, I think everyone obviously could latch onto, was just him in the mirror and just looking at himself. And then when Eric was looking at him and said, "What is this about?" And he's like, "That's not what I want. It's what I want to look like." And then he's like, "You look like that." And then Syed just goes, "No, I don't." I felt like, bro, fucking when you play sports, people, and then you play college sports, and then they weigh you. And mind you, my problem was the opposite. I had the weight, like I used to try to sneak weight on. So I would like go in with my girdle with I would slide in weights on the side. like 5 pounds on each side, or like 2.5s on each side to try to like make weight, and they pat you down, then they overfeed you, and you're looking at yourself, and then you're just like, I hate what I'm becoming and looking like, but I have to talk myself into it because I want to play. And for y'all, it becomes a part. So, and then even in his, I don't, but then even in like, it was, ugh. How did you like, Drew? You just said that you too. How did you feel? That shit just took me to, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to as a cast to watch that second episode before it was released, and that I wasn't present for that day of shooting, so I just didn't know much about that scene. I'd read the script, but like I wasn't in it, so I put it down because I want to experience it, fresh like everyone else. And I saw that, and I remember talking to Ellis after that, and I said the three of us could have all done that, and it would have, because it doesn't matter what your body looks like being like when you're a Black gay man, it's just the pressure to look a certain way. The dysmorphia is so real. I'm getting text messages from my straight cousin telling me that he goes through that, and like just it's really, it was so powerful, and so little was said, and it brought tears to my eyes. It brought tears to our one of our artists, Yana, brought tears to her eyes too. It was so powerful. I think it's one of the best scenes like in the first half of the series, honestly. And I think that Lamont just merged the hell out of that. Like, wow, just incredible. Yeah, and the smiling and the
Yo, son, when he did that's what got me when he did the smile. Cause I remember looking in the mirror and just being like, you're becoming this monster, but look at you. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I was talking to my ex-girlfriend. I was like, what the fuck? I said, why are you sleeping with me? I look disgusting. I was like, this is crazy. She's like, no, I'm like, bitch, you're lying. This whole thing is over with. You're lying to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like body, and then didn't even know it back then. Because I only just recently started reading in the body dysmorphia. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just because, and like, I've gotten over it now because I'm like, okay, no, I'm cool. I know what it is. But like, it would have been interesting if younger me would be able to read that, just being like, nah, this is what you're going through. And you're willfully putting yourself through it. Like, what else other shit do you got going on? I don't know. That's I guess that's my thing with this series is it forces me to ask myself too many questions, Ellis, that I don't like. But I can't stop. I can't stop coming. So I can't stop watching. So it doesn't really. But I think that's the lovely thing about it is that it's like I myself am able to relate with each one of these characters in ways that I wouldn't even expect because I've had a different, like, according to like looking at the characters in my life, it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from this type A crazy lifestyle that's filled with nonsense and ridiculousness and sports with violence. And then, I look in, like, you know what I mean? But then I'm looking at these characters who coming from more artistic backgrounds and we're fucking relating on a deep level. And I'm just like, who the fuck is the writers? Oh, I know the writers. Ellis and Mekahi. It's these two I'm sending my bills to. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I start fucking seeing a therapist again, it's you two's fault. Like, I'm joking. I'm people who are new, who are just finding out who the fuck Dean are because y'all came here following these two tremendous men. It was a joke. Don't cancel me yet. Cancel me over something good. So, yeah.
I think that's what's so cool about the title of the show. It's called For the Boys. And as we're learning, like we're getting messages from, women out there that are like, I know that it's called For the Boys, but I feel seen, blah, 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 blah. But we take these very specific characters in these very specific circumstances with these very specific problems. And I think what makes it universal is how specific it is and how that was kind of what we wanted to do. This scene in particular, and now that episode 1 is out, there were so many people that was like, Syed, like, he's so big, he's so over the top, blah, 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 blah. We set it up like that on purpose. Ha, gotcha. Because a lot of times in my real life, when I was writing that scene, I had literal people in mind that I know very intimately. And they are some of the most talented, beautiful, charming, outgoing people in the world. But as soon as they get behind closed doors, it's a completely different story. They're fighting a battle in their head that we know nothing about, you know? And we've all looked at ourselves at one point or another and been like, I don't necessarily know if I like exactly what I'm seeing. And even and you know, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what the outside world is saying. It doesn't matter how many times. It doesn't matter how many times people tell you you're beautiful. You know, doesn't matter how many times people tell you you're talented. Until you believe that, nothing no one says is going to change that. So we wanted to, because like Drew said, we could have given that to any one of those boys, but we thought it was important because all of the boys are super handsome. All of the boys in this cast are beautiful. And the way we were writing the characters, we knew that we wanted Syed to be this like hypersexual, like the one that everyone's like, oh, he fine, blah, 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 blah. But then you see like, oh my God, this person is really layered and he has so much going on in his head. So much so that like I was watching the show yesterday live, or I had it on the background, and somebody typed out like, "Oh, Syed, you're beautiful. I just want you to know, like, I want you to know, like, you are. You don't have to, you know." So yeah, and we use Eric, the character. We don't even say his name, but his name is Christian.
Yeah, okay, Christian.
You'll see his name later, but we use him in a way to disarm him. You know, he's going around his room, he's being super invasive, he's saying all this stuff, and everything he's saying is tapping at him, and it's poking the bear, and it's unlocking all of these parts of him. And then all of a sudden, he feels so exposed that before he even knows it, he says, I don't look like that, you know. And we did it on purpose. So yeah, it's a truly special scene.
Can I bring up a point
Mm-hmm.
that it was interesting because so my partner Michael, Justin, depending on what I feel like calling him this day, um so he holds intimacy and love very sacred. Certain things just don't fly. And in this first scene, it's funny how people interpret things. He immediately, like in wrestling terminologies, Syed became the bad guy in this scene for him. Actually, let me in the beginning. At the end, he turned around and became the good guy. He made the babyface turn. But let me tell you why. And I don't know if anybody else is gonna say this. Let me tell you. So when you got Christian going through his room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Syed like, you know, I just don't be having random niggas in my space. Nigga, Justin looked at me and he was like, you see? This is crazy. People are really out here like this. You're sitting here sleeping with somebody. It lacks the intimacy. He goes, this is real. This is real. And I was like, yo, this is, and I was wondering when y'all wrote the scene, did y'all ever think about it? When you wrote that line,
Mm-hmm.
did you think about it like that? Because I was like, this is wild. I was like, because when he said it to me, I was like, I was thinking that, but I wasn't. But when he put it in my face like that, I was like, this is something that us as a culture, not just in the gay culture, but just in culture, especially American culture, we have this thing where we give intimacy, but there'll be nothing behind it. Like I'm giving you my body, but won't let you look through my room. Like what do both of y'all think about that? But actually, before you get to it, Ellis, what do you just think about that concept in itself, Drew?
Yeah, I think that hookup culture is really, really tough. It's a difficult thing to navigate, especially as millennials, especially as like younger millennials. It's just really, really hard. I think that Saeed, you know, calling him a random nigga, I think it's a defense mechanism. I think there's a certain level of like, I'm not gonna allow myself to feel, even though I've been fucking this person for over a month. You know, we've like, you know, he even says this is the first time I've seen your place, you know. And I guess he's like, because I don't be allowing random niggas. And you see how it hurts Christian. He's like, random, okay? Well, there it is then, you know. It's crazy that even at the end of that, he still tries before he leaves. He's like, I'm gonna still try. There's something there. There's something he sees. I think Christian sees past all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Doesn't
He
necessarily
sees what he can become.
Yeah. And he's like, I believe in you. Like you can do all this all you want, but like I'm still here. And I think that I think that we try to protect ourselves as young people. We don't want to get hurt because it's embarrassing. We have social media now. We have all this. Heartbreak hurts. Embarrassment is like I think way worse than it was like when you didn't have the internet. So you want to distance from someone, and you want to at least try to, but feelings get involved, and I don't know. I think hookup culture has been also a difficult thing for me to navigate. Like as a young queer man, it just doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make sense, and like, so how do I? So we're not this, but we are. But so you can stay over, but you can't do. It's and yeah. So it's confusing. It's frustrating, and I don't know that I have mastered it yet. So
no one has ever mastered
no one
it.
has
We're
ever.
all just trying to figure it out. And I think, yeah, it is ironic that he says that because of obviously they just did this very intimate thing. Sex and intimacy are related, but they're not necessarily synonymous. Like they don't necessarily mean the same thing. However, they do have an intimate relationship. And I think the most intimate moments are the bookends where Christian does something and he does it twice. And both times that he does it, it's subtle, but it's beautiful from Lamont. Lamont is taken off guards on both times it happens. He kisses him on the forehead. And to me, I think that is one of the most intimate things someone can do is kiss you on the forehead. It is such a tender, sweet, intentional thing. And I think from jump, after he does that, because at this point, regardless if their feelings are there or not, Syed feels comfortable in his sexuality. He feels comfortable in that, Once the conversation happened and the kiss happened, that's when it's like I don't be having random niggas because like it's like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. So I have to be the lion that Lamont said that Syed is a Leo, so we all learned that. So he had to let the lion out, and even in that last moment where Christian kind of reads him like a fucking book, and he's like, well, you do this and you do that, and you push people away because you think it's funny and you're afraid and you don't want to get hurt, so you do this. And it's like, literally, if you go back and you listen to that speech, there's not one thing that is off. Nope. And it's funny because art imitates life. Recently, I've had someone in my life that does that to me, and I'm like, hey, that's not fun for you to know so much just off of how I interact or what you see around me. You understand why I am the way I am. And then after that moment, he kind of like spirals, and you see it all happen.
Yeah, man. That scene was very interesting, just on a few different notes. Like, you know what I mean? Just on how it just interacted with life and just all over. That's what this whole series does. Like you said, just for the boys. Lamont's a great actor. Eric is a wild man for acting that way. Like, you know what I mean? The way he was going through. You got this book. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Trying to like be mean. He was just.
But that's what I mean. But he was doing it. But we can debate that. He wasn't trying to be mean.
You think he was call him out?
He was being facetious.
He
knew what he was doing. Look at the way he was doing it. He was like, well, you got this. He was I was watching this man low key take pleasure in it. And then at the end being like, I still want to invite you to come here. Like, you want to know why I understood? Because I've been that dickhead. I've been that guy just being like, I know what you're doing. Like, I get it because I've done it. Like, you get it as good as you can give it. You know what I mean? So like when you've been on the end of something, then you understand when someone is like, oh no, I pulled that motherfucker. I know what you're doing.
Like, I see you. And now, since I'm a random nigga, now let me tell you about you. So let me prove to you that I'm not random. Let me show you how observant I am about you and your life. And after that, now you see how that feels? Now come to this party with me later.
Yeah, Syed really met his match in this episode.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if we see Christian. And I'm still interested to see if we're gonna see, oh man, I forgot the dude's name, but the brother with the dreads who sent.
Oh,
You'll see him.
yeah.
You'll see him. You'll see him.
Yeah. This is gonna be. Listen. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this season to unfold. It is getting late here, people. So we're gonna let both of these gentlemen go to bed. But listen here. This has been one hell of a fucking episode. I thank both of you for your time. Andrew, thank you for stopping by. Ellis, friend of the show, I appreciate you, player. Let me say something right now, Ellis. Right now, you are leading in BTB appearances. You're the man.
Hey, what is
Fucking
it?
man.
3, 4, 3, 4.
You're three. Three.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely.
And I'll be looking to book you for 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna try and coordinate and get all of the boys up here at some point with me and Mekahi. So yeah.
Well, from your mouth to the people's ears, so mote it be, people. Listen, I appreciate both of you. I am Dean. This has been the recap for the boys, episode 2. We'll be back next week, same time, episode number 3. Peace, love, and chicken. Now, before we close this motherfucker out, you want to let the people know anything before we get out of here? You, Andrew, or maybe Jamal, you want to let us know you can put somebody in a place or something? Ellis want to let people know if we're gonna finally figure out was actually hold on. I'm not into the motherfucking, we're not going nowhere. I'm gonna hold you motherfuckers hostage. We ain't going nowhere. I don't give a motherfucker. What's going on? What's good? When we gonna figure it out, son? You got relationships on the line, friendships. They've been together for years. They live together, and you're gonna have this man out here sleeping with the enemy in that other man's eyes, and now all of a sudden,
Ooh, Chateau.
one of them is, and then the other friend knows now. A whole friendship. We may not even have it for the boys.
Oh
Season
yeah,
2, the whole thing.
Say that. Yes, Anthony. Yes, that is the thing. Anthony knows, and Syed doesn't, and Anthony has known this whole time.
Wow, yeah.
Ooh, I am. What the fuck? What are you? We can't know. Ellis, Jamal, Drew, somebody help me. You saw the script. Let the God know.
Wow. Ellis, you took this one.
Tune in. Just keep tuning in, please.
Yes, we will be tuning in. We'll be tuning every week. And you want to know why we're going to be tuning every week? Because we're going to know if this is going to fall apart. I'm calling it now. All hell's got to break loose. I told you, Syed is my spirit animal. I'm telling you what I would do. I'm blowing everything up. Fuck it. We just so we going to play like this because I'm like this? Bet. King Petty. I hope King Petty Syed come out. I'm sorry, Jamal. I like you, Andrew, but Jamal, I'm not really feeling right now. I said it because I said, listen, I hope King Petty Syed come out. I hope King Petty come out. Listen, Chandler, your acting's wonderful. Anthony, we got beef too, player. King Syed, son. I ain't fucking with none of y'all. Ellis, if you don't write them right, I ain't fucking with y'all neither. If I don't say King Petty, I'm losing it. Listen, I'm gonna start a For Syed hashtag. I don't know what the hashtag's gonna be. We gonna figure it out. Listen, Jamal. Listen, John, I'm talking to you, Jamal. I know folk like you. You come off innocent, then you want to do the cute thing, inviting dude over real late, even though I thought Syed was over there, but he wasn't. But wait, Syed was in his room. So time out, were we having both of y'all at the, what was going?
Sorry, he left early that morning. He left early that morning.
Yes.
Over late.
Snuck him in late.
But the fact that you got the gall to sneak people, like you see what I'm saying? It take a different. Come on, son. See, I gotta watch. You gotta watch folk like you. Syed got his heart in his sleeve, and y'all out here just stabbing him in the back because he got some beef with the enemy, quote unquote.
I'm dead.
All right, y'all, let me get on out of here. We can't listen. Both of these gentlemen are going to get network sponsorships and go out there to be on NBC and shit like that. We can't get them canceled fucking with Dean. Now, y'all know me. I would be a YouTube land listen, you can't get canceled if you stay canceled. Peace, love, and chicken. We are out of here. Oh man, I would it'd be nice if I start.